I'm Brandon DeLeslie. I'm a group account director and head of brand and client partnerships, currently at the PMM agency. Um, I stand here with over 15 years of entertainment, media, and marketing experience, having led teams at WPP, iHeart, Hulu, Twitch, and Google. Whether it was on the agency or the publisher side, I pitched and executed 360 strategic campaigns and developed culture-first offerings for some of the most renowned brands in the business, helping close over $200 million in investments. Now, I say all this to say that while I'm immensely proud of my career, it isn't lost on me that the majority of these dollars didn't circulate back through Black-owned businesses, not on the consumer side, nor the publisher or agency side. And that's why this group, who you're going to witness today, is so special. I've had the pleasure of watching this cohort eagerly soak up knowledge and advice at every turn, navigating the realities of entrepreneurship, but also keeping the mission of giving back to marginalized communities as their North Star. I identify with this mission and I strive to do my part, but knowing these brands will continue to blossom and make impact, and that I could be a small part of that, has been an honor. One of the quotes that someone said to me a while back that I think resonates most when I think about this moment, this experience, is that just because the work feels good doesn't mean it's just feel good work, right? And so a lot of what you'll hear today, a lot of what you'll see today is work that is tethered with, doing better for a community, with bringing greatness to a community. And all of that is incredible and is work that needs to be done. But at the end of the day, you're in here because it's a potential to drive up your bottom line, to give you a great ROI. And I don't want that to be lost, that this isn't meant to be charity. This is meant to be advantageous for everyone in here, right? So again, I've had the privilege this year of supporting BOMESI. Yeah, let's give a round of applause. Right, so I had the privilege this year of supporting the Accelerator as the lead mentor, a role in which I've had the opportunity to meet and advise the 7 publishers who you're about to hear from shortly. It's been a pleasure working alongside BOMESI, Triple Link, and Collab. And also we want to thank Denzu for this beautiful office. But you clap for that too, we're here. And I'm excited to be here with you here today in New York. So as you sit here, again, want to understand that it's not about doing the right thing per se, helping communities. It is about that, but it's also about fueling and driving your bottom line. And so I stand here because they're worthy of my time. And most importantly, they're worthy of your intentional media investment. So after we hear from our publishers, we'll open up a happy hour where you can grab a drink, you can congratulate, maybe talk about some funding, but I'll leave that to y'all. And right now, I'd like to invite the founders of the Black-owned Media Equity and Sustainability Institute, also known as BOMESI, Ranisha Bing and Devon Christopher Johnson, to the stage for opening remarks.
Hi, I'm Ranisha Bing.
I'm Devon Christopher Johnson.
And we are
co-founders of BOMESI.
BOMESI is a nonprofit organization that stands for Black-owned Media Equity and Sustainability Institute, where we are unlocking not just mentorship and community for these founders, but we also are giving them grant dollars to actually put money back into their growth so they can become sustainable.
That's just so much more than just ratings and impressions and a sponsorship and a schedule. It's about representation. It's about building communities.
What's happened in the past is that diversity meant, okay, and a white male-owned media company goes and buys diversity. And that's not what truly needs to happen in the industry. We want to support the growth of independent publishers, independent media, and independent stories to create a real industry, growing the ecosystem from the top down.
That was really cool. And that was Cohort 1. And now here we are for Cohort 3. It's been quite a journey.
Yeah, so I'm Devon Christopher Johnson.
I'm Ranisha Bing.
And we're at BOMESI, which is the Black-owned Media Equity Sustainability Institute. We started BOMESI back in 2020. It was just the 2 of us with a lot of ambition and big ideas and a lot of issues and trouble. And we really wanted to make sure our businesses could survive the pandemic, survive 2020, and grow as independent media companies. And thus we started BOMESI.
Yeah. And the first thing we did is create a database of Black-owned media companies because we heard constantly, well, we don't know where to find you. And so that was one of the first things that we did. And that database went viral. And that just led to us, doing more listening and learning to understand from both sides, why haven't we worked together before? What's the barrier? And a lot of the things that we heard were, not enough scale, not enough inventory, or they're not connected to the programmatic pipes.
We want working together, right? So if I don't have scale, you don't have scale, but together we can have scale. How do we form coalitions to work together? That's one of the main things that we started with. We led with community. So people say, is BOMESI an ad network? We said, no, BOMESI is the community of publishers that we're helping to grow the ecosystem with.
Yep. And we're built around 3 pillars: ecosystem building. And so the manifestation of that is this room right now. It takes not just us coming together and trying to make our businesses better, but then we need that investment as well. And then we are the vehicle ultimately for your brand to reach our audiences, which are valuable to your bottom line, to Brandon's point. The other pillars are education and economic empowerment. And so the BOMESI Accelerator, which we are now at Cohort 3.
Woo, Cohort 3.
Literally is the manifestation of all 3 of those pillars. And with Cohort 3, we now have 21 alumni that have come through the BOMESI Accelerator and distributed $525,000.
And non-dilutive investment to these publishers. Literal us did that.
Yes. So today you'll hear from 7 founders, media owners who have been through this program, and you'll see the results of months of mentorship, of access to training resources, and they are worth consideration.
And we also want to thank the media folks in the room. We learned through this journey that it isn't that easy always just to say, oh, put this platform on the plan. We understand that the brand says yes or no. There's so many levels of approval that have to go through that. So we understand what it takes for you guys to really push something forward. And we wanted to make sure we gave you guys the tools you needed to have a successful addition of us to your media plan. So thanks to the media people in the room. To give yourselves a round of applause also.
Well, we don't want to take too much time from the presentations today, but we will hear from some of our supporters and sponsors. So with that said, I will pass the mic over to our GM.
And you guys have a chance to also support BOMESI in your own way. There's some QR codes going around, so throughout the day you can scan your phone and support what we do. If you like what you see, support what we do.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Hello, my name is Tarshina Armstrong, and I am the Director of Diverse Media and Community Impact for General Motors.
And my name is Brian Bowles-Marshall, and I lead Diverse Media Strategy and Investment at General Motors. And we want to applaud you for being a part of the BOMESI Accelerator program.
At GM, we have an aspiration to be the most inclusive company in the world. It's important for our organization to align with programs like BOMESI that help fuel our vision for an equitable media and marketing ecosystem. We encourage you all to lean into this immersive program, build your network, elevate your brand, and most importantly, expand your media capabilities.
Listen, now more than ever, it is important that diverse perspectives and voices be heard through transformative storytelling, custom content creation, and innovative platforms in media. Now, your incredible journey with this program shows your commitment to improving our landscape, and it makes us all better. And we thank you for that.
With that being said, good luck and enjoy the 2024 Upfront experience.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Thomas Brandon. I lead the economic inclusion efforts for TripleIF, and it is a pleasure for me to be here today on behalf of TripleIF to congratulate and celebrate those publishers who have just completed this year's BOMESI Accelerator program. Earlier this year, as part of our commitment to increasing diverse representation in digital media, TripleIF, in collaboration with Dentsu, established the Publisher Tech Fund, which aims to enhance the programmatic capabilities of diverse-owned publishers. So we proudly join the BOMESI Accelerator program as supporting partners as far as offering coaching, contributing to grants, and also providing access to networking opportunities. And over the past few months, I can say from my own personal experience, I've witnessed the willingness and eagerness of these publishers to learn more in order to help grow their business. And we want to assure you that The end of this cohort does not mean the end of our support. So through our initiative, you will still be able to leverage Triple-Lift subject matter experts to gain access to educational resources and materials that will help you navigate throughout the programmatic ecosystem. I also like to thank Dentsu and GM for their invaluable roles as partners in this initiative. Additionally, I want to give a special thanks to the entire BOMESI team. Your dedication and hard work has ensured that this program was designed to create a more sustainable growth that goes beyond just mere ad dollars and media investments. I, along with the Triple-Lift team, look forward to continuing our partnership and collaborating more with BOMESI on future endeavors that support diverse-owned publishers. So once again, thank you and congratulations to Cohort 3 publishers. We're excited to see what you achieve next, and we're proud to be a part of your journey. I'll now turn it over to Mark Prince, SVP Economic Empowerment at Dentsu.
Yeah. All right, this works, okay. Thank you, Thomas. Good afternoon to everyone, both in the room and virtually as well. Always good to see some familiar faces and new ones as well. For those I have not had a chance to meet yet, I am Mark Prince, and I have the privilege of running the economic empowerment practice here at Dentsu, which is dedicated to creating more business opportunities for Black-owned and diverse-owned platforms. This is clearly a passion point for everyone that's in the room right now. And we are incredibly pleased to be able to host the BOMESI Accelerator Upfront event today here at Dentsu. Ro, Devon, as you know, we've had the pleasure of having the previous 2 cohorts, and it's really exciting to build on that relationship in different ways, whether it's the continued investment and partnership in BOMESI from our GM client, as you saw in remarks from Tarshina and Bree, as well as Shannon stopping by the dinner, last night as well. And in the form of Dentsu's partnership, as Thomas referred to, with Triple-Lift and our digital team with the Tech Fund to support the development and continued growth of existing and new and Black and diverse-owned partners. As the importance of ad tech and digital continues to shape the advertising and media landscape, it is really vital we as agencies and as brands do everything in our power to ensure Black-owned and diverse-owned platforms are active and publishers growing participants in this space. There was a quote I saw a while ago that really continues to resonate with me and really speaks to the important work that we do in this space. It states that equity is a process that begins by acknowledging the unequal starting place and makes a commitment to correct and address the imbalance. Dentsu's commitment to equity in media remains firm and unwavering, especially in these more challenging times, let's be clear, as attacks around these efforts increase. Our economic empowerment practice, which is now a division of the Media Responsibility Unit, and I have to give a shout out to who heads that up, Diva Bronson, who's in the room as well. Strengthens and enables our commitment to diversity by understanding that the media decisions we make have more of an impact beyond just ratings, impressions, and delivery. Investing in Black and diverse-owned properties empowers communities, it increases representation, and ultimately it has the power to build wealth for owners who have been historically disenfranchised and underrepresented. But even more importantly, it's also a business opportunity to tap into the brand loyalty and buying power of consumers who respond to seeing themselves reflected in an authentic way. As our P&G client Mark Pritchard has often said, multicultural marketing is mainstream marketing. We are so excited to see the presentations from the publishers today and to see the opportunities for agency teams and brands to connect with your audiences. One of the tentpoles of the economic empowerment practice is having two-way conversations with current and future partners, equal parts talking and equal parts listening. And I've been on the agency side a long time. We like to talk, and sometimes you really need to be quiet and just listen a little bit more and hear the insights that you have from the audiences that you serve. And as we collaborate, and it's by that talking and listening, we collaborate to create more business opportunities together. So we look forward to networking and continued dialogue afterwards. And with that, I'm going to turn the mic back over to Brandon.
Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, so I think this is still, all right. Well, thanks to Ranisha, to Devon, GM, Thomas, Mark, really for sharing all of that sort of context. I think it's a great way to lay sort of mental foundation as everyone opens their eyes, ears, hearts to the presentations to come. And so with that, I'm excited to introduce you to the third cohort of publishers who have completed the BOMESI Accelerator program. I'm positive that you'll be impressed with their platforms, as I've been for a while now. And without further ado, I welcome our first publisher, Jermaine Hall, from Level Man, to the stage. Enjoy.
This one? Yeah. Oh, check, check. Check.
The black man of old has a ball. He's aged backwards, expanded his interests. Those broadened interests make him interesting to advertisers. He's looking for a home base, a safe space for him to be vulnerable, somewhere that will give him more than a celebrity fix. He needs a brand that will provide a life fix, a place that will speak to his new reality, which is coexisting with a partner, fatherhood, a mortgage, a love of home design, and a hobby where they park their disposable income. Level is his safe haven, the blueprint for the contemporary black man. We're the barbershop in digital spaces and IRL, helping black men be the best version of themselves. Bet on us.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jermaine Hall. I am the CEO and founder of Level, and I am in the business of making Black Boy Joy a reality. I spent a majority of my career serving the 18 to 34-year-old demographic. I did 5 years. For 5 years, I was editor-in-chief of Vibe. Then I moved on to be VP of content over at BET Digital, and I also did that for a little over 5 years. So here's what I learned during that decade span. Black men, specifically black men over the age of 34, don't have a lot of places that we can call home. I always say that we're these digital nomads. We go from place to place to get the content that we need, to get the IRL experiences that we need. But what we're really looking for, we're looking for a brand or brands plural to really hyper focus on us. I'm building such a place with Level. With the brand, we are very intentional on how we speak to our audience. There's 3 buckets that we focus on. The life bucket is the most important bucket for us. Like, that's actually the bucket where I feel like I could do the heavy lifting, the heavy work to make black men greater tomorrow than they are today. And within that bucket, we cover fatherhood, financial literacy, sex and relationships, mental health, and health and wellness. Then we have the culture bucket. The culture bucket is what I've done for like most of my career, which is speaking to talent. The big difference now, though, is that I'm no longer speaking to talent about the thing that they have in market. I'm not really speaking to them about like the music that they have, or like the movie that you have, or like the book that you have. There's plenty of places that they can go do that. At Level, what we try to do is really have a lot more nuanced conversations about things that they actually care about in the world that they don't get to speak to often. So as an example, Usher was our June cover guy, and we didn't talk to Usher about music. We didn't talk to Usher about the Super Bowl. The conversation was really based around his parenting philosophy and how he goes about navigating having a blended family. So those are the kinds of conversations that we want to have at Level. And then our third bucket is the self bucket. Our content has really helped us grow in our ecosystem. So just to go through some numbers really quickly, in 3 years on the open web, we've been able to grow to 120,000 uniques. Those uniques are consuming 8+ pages per visit. I really love that stat. It's very delightful to me because it lets me know that like the content is actually sticky. We've also grown our newsletter to 13,000 subscribers. G-Code. And that newsletter has a 31% open rate, which is above industry standard. I'm going to double click a little bit on G Code because with cookies going away, we're finding it even more important now to build this like one-on-one relationship with our audience and collect as much first-party data as possible. So with that said, we have redesigned our newsletter, which is launching in August, just in time for back to school. And then on the social side, we've accumulated over 17,000 social followers. So what else can I tell you about this 83% male audience? So as the trailer said, they have really, really broad interests. Their hobby interests are both simple and complex. They're really passionate about this release of Grand Theft Auto 6, and they're just as passionate about that trip that they're about to take to Japan. They are really excited to get like the next release of that Cause figure and bring that into their home, but they're just excited to cop that new crib for the nursery. Let's double click on the audience a little bit more. I like to break them into 4 personas. There's the hungry hustler, there's the young OG, there's the second act, and then there's the unk. The hungry hustler, this guy is just starting his career journey. He's really starting to excel in the office, but he's also very much like still a person who's outside. Don't get it twisted. Then we have the young OG. This guy right here is a core consumer. He's in middle management. He's also doing very well at his gig. This guy is starting to plant roots on where he wants to live long term, and he's also starting to think about starting a family. Then we have the second act. This guy has done some living for sure, and he's starting to reassess really what's important to him. He's also really paying attention to his health more than he ever has, because he's starting to realize that he's done more living behind him than he has in front of him. And then there's the unk. This guy's my favorite. He'll give it to you straight, no chaser, this guy. But what's also lovable about the unk is he's really willing to give you like the cheat codes to win at life. He's a conservative spender. He's a conservative investor, as he's really starting to prep himself for retirement. So now that you know a little bit about our audience, let's take a look at how brands in the past have been able to plug into us to reach this audience. So Sony Pictures was looking to do some marketing around Dumb Money, which was a general market play. They were looking to plug into AA Men. So what we did, we pitched them a digital original series called Microdocs. And with Microdocs, what we did was recruit Black investors who were on the ground when the GameStop shortage was actually happening. So we got folks who won big, we got folks who lost big, and also folks who were middle of the road. And then secondly, we also recruited the Earn Your Leisure co-CEOs, Troy and Rashad. And what Troy and Rashad what they're really good at doing is providing a layman's explanations to really complex financial stories. So they were able to do that for us. This campaign over-delivered for us by 3%. It also had 800,000 impressions. We've been able to productize our digital covers, which was really big for us. Anscape was looking to do some marketing around their cooking show Time Out with Tobias. We were able to come up with some really cool visuals for them. And I think just as importantly, we were able to tell the story of how Chef was able to go from a football player to a renowned chef with video. This campaign also did really well for us. 1.2 million impressions delivered, also over-delivered. This Blackening franchise, this is probably our most successful to date. It's one of my favorites, one of the earliest ones that we've done. Lionsgate was looking to tap into comedy and horror enthusiasts. So what we did is we went back, we created an article that really dug into Black folks who were in horror films who did not make it to the end of the movie, which is like a really exhausting list of people. This one did really well for us. We over-delivered by 128%. So how do we work together? We ideate and we come up with strategy. The level team does, and then we could run that through all of these capabilities. Based on the makeup of the team, I think where we're really strong at is celebrity and talent procurement, and also coming up with really good custom content. So as much as I love the old executions that we've done, I'm really excited about the new things that we have coming. So I'm going to take you through that, just top line. I'll start with 40 Over 40, which is our music franchise. So this is a list where we take the top 40 rappers over the age of 40, and we judge them on their discography only since they've been 40 years of age. So to put that in practical use, Nas's Illmatic would not count. It makes for a really interesting list. And then Level Fit is our net new health vertical. As you guys know, Black men have not been diligent about going to the doctor. We would love to change that. 80% of hypertension, which again, Black men over-index on, is preventable with simple lifestyle changes. We would love to deliver what those lifestyle changes are for Black men. And then what's my superpower? It takes people like Charles King over here, and it allows Charles to really do a deep dive on what makes him successful at his job. This is both an IRL experience as well as a video execution. And lastly, we have our 30, 40, 50 dinner. So with this, we get a 30-year-old, a 40-year-old, and a 50-year-old, and we celebrate them. After dinner, the three people who we celebrate will come up. We will have a moderated discussion on what they've learned in the decade that they're in, and what they intend to learn, what they look forward to learning in the following decade. So with that said, we've got some pretty impressive brands on the board right here. I would love for Dentsu to join this slide.
Hello. Hi, my name is Julia. I'm the publisher of Greenpointers. We are a hyperlocal website and social platform that publishes news, events, food, and culture content about the neighborhoods of Greenpoint and Williamsburg, located in the tippy-top northern part of Brooklyn. And we're the largest hyperlocal platform in New York City at around 280,000 readers and followers, over 2 million monthly impressions across our website and socials. And the majority of our audience is between the ages of 25 and 45 years old. And because we're based in one of the most expensive areas of New York City, median household income is close to $100K a year. Online, we're on a variety of platforms, including our website, Instagram, X, Facebook, and email. And in total, our reach exceeds our target audience. So there is obviously interest outside of just the neighborhood we cover. Why? Well, according to Forbes, which recently featured Greenpoint as a neighborhood to watch, it has, quote, morphed into a mecca of new real estate and restaurants. Greenpoint and Williamsburg is also two of the most searched and most expensive neighborhoods to rent in, according to StreetEasy. And it has a very vibrant multi-ethnic heritage that is still very much present today. North Brooklyn is trendy and has cultural appeal. For Spider-Man fans, you may recognize MJ working in a donut shop that is a real, actual donut shop in Greenpoint. Greenpoint is also where the character of Hannah Horvath from the coming-of-age HBO show Girls lived and worked in. And it's really a destination where art, music, and fashion convene. At some of the most recent local events, notable people like Bjork, Madonna, Charlie XCX either performed or made surprise appearances. But beyond our online reach, I think Greenpointers' unique value proposition is what our readers refer to as the Greenpointers effect. The Greenpointers effect refers to the large, sometimes viral impact that's resulted from some of the stories we've covered or even the events we've produced ourselves. This is an image of our annual pop-up holiday market where we curate around 70 artisans, crafters, and indie businesses who sell high-quality, locally made goods. And it's really an all-day festival where we have music, art installations, free fun activities in an old converted warehouse. And at our first one back from the pandemic, around 8,000 visitors came, stood online in the rain and snow, wrapped around the block to support us. And this kind of thing happens with Greenpointers all the time. Recently, I went to a newly opened bakery, posted about it, and the next day there was a huge line, and I couldn't get my croissant. Some of the people and brands we've worked with got their start with us and grew to become hugely successful businesses and influencers. Some of you may recognize The Heatonist, who is a sponsor at Hot Ones. But I met him, his name is Noah, as a guy who vendored at our market. He had an idea to become the first hot sauce sommelier in the world. And he decided he wanted to open up a shop in Williamsburg. We broke the story about him, and then it went viral. And now he's a multi-million-dollar per year company. Watching New York is also run by a neighborhood friend of mine. His name is Johnny Cirillo, who started taking photos of street fashion in Williamsburg for fun. And he wasn't sure what he wanted to do with this, so we started publishing a series called Fashion Sunday, where we featured 10 of his favorite looks from the week. And then now that essentially launched his career as a fashion photographer. He now has over 1.3 million followers on Instagram. He recently published a book where Gigi Hadid wrote the foreword, and he made a really nice mention about Greenpointers, giving him his first break. So who exactly is the Greenpointers audience? Well, there are a lot of different types of people who read Greenpointers, but in general, I would say our audience is trendy, creative, high earners, and are environmentally and socially conscious. And most importantly, we value authenticity. And I say this with some degree of confidence because I am my own audience. I was a reader and follower of Greenpointers almost 10 years ago when I quit my job as a tech exec and decided to buy it. At the time, I was looking for a creative outlet and a way to connect with people and just experience the things around me in real life. Art is a big part of who I am, and back in 2018, Apple featured me as a Brooklyn-based creator in their Behind the Mac campaign alongside the likes of one of my favorite rappers, RZA, the Flatbush Zombies, and the artist Cause. So because Greenpointers has been shaped in this way, I believe that a lot of our audience are drawn to the same things I am, and that's where our core readership has been built from. With my tech background, I brought with me some tech concepts, and so Greenpointers is agile, meaning it has pivoted multiple times to meet the needs of our audience. So when I started working on Greenpointers, the focus was on food, culture, events, and then we shifted to incorporating some more news stories when other local news outlets were shutting down back in 2017. Then during COVID, of course, we became the go-to resource for locals to get real practical information like where to get tests and vaccines, and to feel connected at a time when we were socially distancing. During that time, our audience ended up almost doubling. And so similarly, when it pertains to ads, we are able to adapt in order to meet the marketing needs in a creative, out-of-box way. Here's an example of a campaign we did with a car ride service called Revel that was newly launching in Brooklyn at the time. Their objective was to, of course, sign up new users and also promote unique aspects of their brand, which is that they use an all-electric fleet of cars and all of their workers are actual employees, not gig workers. We delivered around 250,000 impressions on Instagram within a day or so, and Revel increased brand awareness among a socially and environmentally conscious Brooklyn-based audience. And this is really the common thread among advertisers who have worked with us in the past. A lot of these brands choose to launch in North Brooklyn, open up a flagship store, or do a pop-up brand experience because they are looking to reach trendsetters and generate buzz, and that's where Greenpointers comes in to amplify that messaging. Some examples of advertisers we've worked with include the audio company Marshall, earscaping business Studs, hair company Pros, sock company Bombas, Avocado Green Mattress, and Juvovka Vodka. These brands did their marketing across different platforms on Greenpointers, but they all were interested in one thing, which is looking to reach a young, hip audience. So as I mentioned, we have a variety of offerings for marketing campaigns that range from online to offline experiences. We have all the standard display ad opportunities on our website. And then, of course, we have our social media channels and a very highly engaged email subscriber list at over 40% open rate. But I think what differentiates us is that my specialty has always been to come up with creative solutions. So if that resonates with you, let's connect. And before you leave, don't forget to take one of these cute little postcards and send somebody you love a note in real life. Thank you.
Wine is more than just a taste. It's a passport to culture, a celebration of diversity, and an invitation to adventure. Uncorked and Cultured is a digital platform where wine, culture, and community converge. By bringing together multicultural voices, we create memories beyond the glass and produce evergreen content that elevates your palate. My name is Angela McCrae, and I founded Uncorked and Cultured during the pandemic. Back then, I didn't consider myself a wine enthusiast, but I definitely was a wine consumer. I'm sure a lot of you guys was consuming wine during that time too, right? So when I learned about Black winemakers, I wanted to spread the gospel because it was something I never heard of. And I launched Uncorked and Cultured initially with the Subconsciously directory. I worked with a researcher from Fresno State, and together we published the first global directory of over 200 Black-owned wine businesses. So that's wine shops, that's winemakers, all of the gamut when it comes to wine. And in 2025, we are expanding across all beverage categories and underrepresented artisans. So to deliver this premium events and programming, I combine my experience producing music festivals, Sundance film activations, and B2B events for NBC Universal. Having worked with greats like Ava DuVernay, I know firsthand that impact campaigns and working with grassroots organizations and individuals are key for activating audiences. My perspective, experience, and vision are broad, and I'm looking for brand partners with the same values. Did I mention our strength is in video? For context, I know good storytelling and how to produce for my 25 years in television and film. In December 2019, I embarked on a Freedom 40 journey across Africa for 40 days, experiencing Black culture converge at Ghana's Year of the Return while falling in love with wine in Stellenbosch, South Africa. I met and interviewed the first woman of color to own her own wine farm and tasting room in this prestigious region, and got inspired. Then I came back and realized that the lack of diverse voices in the US wine industry was prevalent. And so I began to self-fund these beautiful stories that wine is for everyone. So these are just clips from our Subconsciously YouTube series that highlight the conscious effort that I've taken to create inclusivity in luxury wine, food, and travel. Over the past 4 years, I've grown an attentive audience by creating a sense of belonging. Aside from reaching niche, active, multicultural consumers, I realize it's also challenging to reach audiences across 3 generations that are the current consumers. However, I also realize that wine and travel is that sweet spot, intersecting their lifestyle and buying power in a very immersive and fun way. Everybody loves wine whenever you can talk about it. So, in 2020, what I also realized is that the wine industry experienced an awakening regarding the lack of representation and inclusion. And so I began documenting it through Instagram lives, YouTube lives, and then started branching out into editorial. We are now the #1 leader for wine and culture. We cater to 77% multicultural wine drinkers and lifestyle enthusiasts who tend to drink wine 1 to 3 times a week. This means that our audience is lucrative, influential, and culture creators. They're over-indexing in luxury purchases and are 2.5 times more likely to spend $20 or more for a bottle of wine versus other consumers. They literally make up 30% of the $107 billion US wine revenue sales that was reported in 2023. And of course, the wine enthusiast is enormous, right? I mean, we start at 21 and then it doesn't end. You know, because our platform is cross-generational, what we realize is our sweet spot is ages 35 to 54, but we still hold about 20% between 25 and 34. What makes our audience unique is their investment in these experiences, as well as luxury goods, and also creating these moments and cherishing memories. That's really what wine does. It sparks conversations. Our campaigns total a reach of about 25,000 across all social platforms. We also created Subconsciously as a vertical as well, so that's across that as well, where we have nearly 5,000 newsletter subscribers. Our website averages 3 page views per session, showing that our audience is interested and engaged, and they run the gamut: entrepreneurs, hospitality, you know, travelers, mothers, working professionals. They're just looking for excitement and ways to decompress. And our top cities are New York, Los Angeles, DC, Chicago, and we're expanding into regions like Charleston, North Carolina, Charlotte, Texas, like Houston, Texas. Because our audience is engaged, global, and niche, we're also moving into Cape Town and Portugal rapidly. All right, when you look at audience data, our value, we do the work to be more conscious about our audience and consumers by doing this data, working with researchers like the woman from Fresno State that I mentioned earlier, who's a professor and really invested. We do 360 branding, creating unlimited marketing opportunities across our multi-platform campaigns. We are a trusted partner that instills consumer confidence, authenticity, and intentionality. Now, over the past 4 years, we've produced about 7 trade shows, hosted trips from Napa to Stellenbosch, and gathered consumer data from 20 events that we've produced. Once again, our work revolves around lifestyle, but most importantly, we're fueled by impact and purpose. We've been vetted and we've passed the vibe check, y'all. I was recognized as the 2022 wine industry leader by Wine Business Monthly, where I had a chance to be on the cover. Uncorked and Culture as a publication has been nominated multiple times for Best Wine Media by the Wine and Culture Fest. We've partnered with over 15 wine organizations and companies. As you can see, working with Napa Valley Vintners, South Africa Wine, as well as Silver Oak. And we are having opportunity to offer these opportunities to get plugged into our growing community to make that impact. We're diverse owned, and we have a diverse network who you can tap into when you partner with us. So whether it's your DEI, supplier diversity, or CSR goals, we can help you because we've worked with Hyatt, Total Wine & More, and HEB, as well as other retailers to help in those efforts. Our biggest offer to our audience is the unique ways that we engage with them. So it's through wine, wellness, culture, and adventure, our 4 pillars. We use video articles, newsletters, surveys, contests, social media campaigns, as well as these trade events to really activate our audience. Now, when we go deeper, a little bit deeper in our offerings, we do talk about branded content. Because we launch with videos first, we understand it's a high-powered tool for storytelling and building trust to reach our audience, a dedicated audience. Because we're a storytelling solution, we're enthusiastically looking for brand content partners. We want to get into more branded content. For our activations, it's been a huge revenue driver for us, very strong in driving our audience as well, especially when it comes to data capturing. We're constantly looking at ways to understand our consumer journey. And we are digital everywhere. So our pathway to every channel within Uncorked and Cultured Universe is wide open. And I just want to kind of show you an example of what we've delivered to our partners, and our capabilities are broad as we love innovation and figuring out how we can create these unique partnerships. So the opportunity for this year, we have 3 events coming up. The first one is taking our State of Black Wine business IRL. So previously we've done 2 virtually. This year we want to bring it to Napa Valley as an industry panel highlighting Black Business Month with Black wine producers around this big cultural moment in Napa when Robert Glasper has a huge concert event where a lot of African Americans descend from all over the country. So being able to take that big concert, but then create this real intimate space to really give these entrepreneurs an opportunity to tell their story. Second, we're working with Silver Oak to put on a dinner, a food and wine dinner in Martha's Vineyard, which is a very high net worth region where people go to at the end of the summer, early fall, to really get away and relax. And so this is a great way for us to introduce this consumer base to an iconic Napa Valley brand. And then third, our first international experience. And so we've been working with the Cape Town winemakers and professionals there, and we're launching a pop-up in November around music and wine. So this is where we can come together. So this is our 2025 opportunities where we can come together and co-create opportunities. We're looking to create something evergreen and transformative. So Q1, we want to launch our podcast, the Uncorked and Cultured podcast, where we have about 4 limited series, very specific on theme and getting out nuanced stories over the conversation using wine. Q2, the Subconsciously to Dinner tour. I mentioned earlier we're expanding the directory across the entire beverage category. So through this tour, we'll be able to take on beer, wine, and spirits across the country in key states to be able to introduce these artisans. For Q3, Pluto approached us to distribute our content. However, we don't have enough content. So we want to partner with the right person to co-create a 10-episode series for on-demand, AVOD, linear, and CTV platforms. So this is about 200 hours of content in advertising and branded content opportunities. So this is something that we've constantly getting reached out to, people looking to get into wine space, and we just need to find the right partner. And then Q4, taking on Cape Town Bigger and Better as the top-rated tourist destination in 2023 by Global Travel Awards, we want to launch the Uncorked and Cultured Food and Fest, Music and Wine and Music Fest in Cape Town, where it's one of the largest tourist attractions, where they're getting 79% increase in travel in the region. So when you talk about our why, what's our why? Ours has always been to bring people together and to amplify multicultural voices. And we do that by creating accessibility for consumers, professionals, and entrepreneurs to elevate their lifestyle and career. And this is just some highlights from our past, a quick case study from 2 of our trade events that we've done. The first one is the State of Black Wine business, where 15% of Black and brown consumers have been reported to say that they don't feel a sense of belonging within wine spaces. So we created this experience to inspire, connect, and educate, and also collect data, where 46% of our attendees purchased their wine from retailers like Target, Walmart, and Total Wine & More. But on the other side, 40% like to purchase online or direct. 71% of our audience invests money, time, and resources into delving deeper into wine. They're investing in their interests in that niche. We also hosted the Latinx Wine Summit. We did it in person in December 2022, and we had a great turnout. It was a hybrid event. We had 66% mostly enjoyed the networking portion of it, right? Being with their community and talking about things that they enjoy. 74% said they will travel. So once again, creating those travel experiences to attend future Latin-centered wine experiences. And the thing that was so interesting to me is that over 60% of the attendees identified as Latinx millennial women. All right, so one of the cool things is we get people talking. Like, we don't have a dedicated PR team. It's just a very small, nimble, resourceful team that we have. But we do leverage our relationships and our experience to create buzz around our tentpole events. So we add value at every touch point. Sometimes we don't even realize it until after the fact. But this is some of the exciting things that has come out, just a snippet of some of the media that we've gotten around some of the work that we've done. And we use first-party data to understand the behaviors of our audience. Our subscribers have grown, so now we're targeting close to 5,000 subscribers on this digital and event audience that we've been able to grow, growing over 300% over the past 2 years organically. We've never used advertising or paid ads for any of our content, and so we just need the right partners to be able to reach our maximum potential. We're leaning into video and working with a network of travel, beverage, food, and lifestyle influencers for our brand creator collaborations. And we're activating all audience touch points, whether it's digital or in person. We outside and we're doing it big, and we're bringing everybody with us. So for today's reception, we actually curated a wine selection from a Black woman-owned brand. So you guys will be able to actually experience a little bit of the uncorked and cultured magic. So let's pop a bottle to future collaborations and align your client goals with food, wine, travel, lifestyle.
Now I have Mandy Bowman of Official Black Wall Street.
Thank you. My name is Mandy Bowman, and I am the very proud founder and CEO of Official Black Wall Street. With over 1.3 million social followers across platforms, 133,000 monthly users, and over 50,000 subscribers, we are the largest app and digital platform connecting consumers to Black-owned businesses, while also providing those businesses the resources and support that they need to grow and thrive. Speaking of resources, thanks to our amazing partners, we've been able to provide $10 million in business services to those businesses. We've also been able to circulate over $2 million back into Black-owned businesses, benefiting the more than 13,000 Black founders in our community and growing. Thank you. As you can see, consumers and corporations alike come to Official Black Wall Street when it is time to shop, discover, and empower Black-owned businesses. So who are those consumers? The average OBWS, 60% of our target audience are millennial aged. The average OBWS user is a Black woman between the ages of 35 and 44. She has a college degree. She works in corporate America. If she does not have her own business, she probably does. And she lives in one of these top locations: New York, California, Georgia, Texas, and Maryland. You can also find her at the nearest Target, Sephora, Walmart, Whole Foods, and other stores of the like, and she definitely shops with her heart. So she is looking for brands that share the same values. So at Official Black Wall Street, we have many different partnership opportunities and activations that we do all throughout the year. For the sake of time, I'm just gonna go through a couple of the tentpole activations that we do year-round. The first one being our Entrepreneur of the Year Awards, which is an activation we began in 2020. It's our Black Business Month celebration. And with this, our goal is to award and recognize one amazing entrepreneur during the year and provide them with business resources, grant funding, and bragging rights to say that they are the Entrepreneur of the Year. When we did this, or since doing this, we've been able to garner 30 million earned media impressions, 16 million social media impressions, and give away $100,000 in grant funding to these amazing entrepreneurs. With this, we also built a very beautiful, responsive landing page as well. And our previous sponsors have been Comcast, Snapchat, and Clover. We also have our Industry Icons activation, and for this, this is our Black History Month celebration. The goal for this is to be able to highlight the best and top Black-owned businesses in 4 different categories throughout the month. And those categories change depending on what's relevant for ourselves and our partner during that time. But we also built a landing page for this, and there is a 30-day takeover, which means that throughout those 30 days, everything we're posting about, everything in our newsletter is all about this list. So in our last iteration of this, we were able to garner 2.4 million total impressions and drive over 36,000 sales leads to the businesses that we were featuring. And this is a quick, we have pages and pages of this, but this is a quick snapshot that shows who our audience is. They are literally about that action all the time. They don't just like and comment, they are going out and they are buying immediately. We also have our Black-owned series, and this is a video series that we began. And the goal was to basically tell the stories of amazing and impactful business owners around the country. So in our pilot of this series, we went to Atlanta, DC, and New York. I'm from New York, I should know that one. We went to Atlanta, DC, and New York, and we highlighted 3 amazing businesses there. And just so you get a vibe of what it was like, I'm gonna show a quick trailer.
I've been waiting on this as soon as I walked in the door. I love it because it allows me to grab everything, not miss any bites on display.
The Nourish Spot is a healthy food and beverage haven. May you live long.
It was a way to kind of allow people to quickly recognize that it was a women-owned business and also to focus on coffee.
Being able to come back home to find new and amazing Black-owned businesses means a lot to me.
This is the first venture that I was able to do by myself and bring my own touches to the table.
And if people would pay more attention to what they consume, they could live longer and healthier, vibrant lives.
When one door closes, he created a new one that leads to opportunities and new success.
All right, thank you. Fun facts, I love this trailer so much, I've watched it an unhealthy amount of times already. But what I love about this activation is that we are literally creating evergreen content. So even after the flight date has gone and ended, it's still in our ecosystem, we're still reposting it on our social pages, it's still in our newsletter, people are still finding it on our YouTube channel. But with this, we were able to garner 8 million total impressions across our platforms. And of course, we had brand product placement all throughout each of the videos as it was sponsored by Clover. We also have traditional advertising opportunities. The most popular one being our social media packages, especially being that we have such a large following. And this really gives brands the opportunity to get in front of those 1.3 million followers across platforms. This is an example of a campaign that we did with Target for their Accelerators program. And they went with a package that included Instagram, LinkedIn, and then dedicated newsletter, which we'll get to next. But from this, we were able to garner 330,000 impressions just from those 2 posts. And we also have our dedicated newsletter. And for this, we're able to create very visual representation of whatever the brand's priority is. There's 100% share of voice as well, and this would go out to our 53,000 subscribers, 40,000 of those being consumers, and at least 13,000 being business owners with an average open rate of 37%. And this is an example of a campaign that we did with Comcast. Last but not least, we also have advertorials, and this is our opportunity to mesh what we know that our audience is looking for with whatever the priority of the brand that we're working with has at that time. This is an example of a listicle series that we did with the BLK app, which is a dating app owned by Match Group. We've also done some listicles and advertorials that were more geared towards business services with Morgan Stanley and the global law firm Baker Botts. And then we also have digital display ads where we're able to strategically place banner ads all across the OBWS platform. And this is an example of one that we did with healthcare.gov. As you can see, Official Black Wall Street truly has the reach, the impacts, and the influence to connect brands with the spending power of conscious consumers all around the country. And with socially responsible spending at an all-time high, 60% of consumers look for brands that share their values before they make a purchase. In other words, Official Black Wall Street is relevant now more than ever. That being said, I look forward to talking to all of you on ways that we can partner in super impactful and fun ways. Thank you.
Now I have Francesca Lane Warren with the Educators Movement.
Close your eyes. Give me 5 seconds. I want you to imagine your favorite educator. I want you to think about how they made you feel. I want you to think about the smell from that classroom that triggers your childhood. I want you to think about your friends from that class. For me, that's my former teacher, Mrs. Ann Padilla. And she made me feel, one of the first teachers that I ever had, that made me feel like I belonged. My name is Francesca Warren, and I am the CEO and publisher of The Educators Room, a media hub website focused on evidence-based content, digital resources with a supportive audience crafted by educators for educators. We are, if you thought about your teachers, you thought about their favorite educator, and I think about Miss Ann Padilla, there is so much I don't know about her. All I knew is that she woke up every morning and taught us. I want you to think about the person you thought about. And there's a whole other life that we don't know about them. We call it the secret lives of teachers. They have a favorite store, they have a favorite brand, they have a favorite experience that we know nothing about. For us at the Educators Room, we, for the past 12 years, have built trust. Our readers tell us they trust us, and because of that, they tell us the things that they like and what they focus on. 89% of our audience are women. They are highly educated, they have advanced degrees, and with that comes our responsibility to make sure that when we come to them, we bring them things that are relevant, we bring them things that are true, and we bring them things that are going to resonate with them. We use our social media to drive engagement. So whether it is Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the like, they will tell us on our social media if they like it or if they don't. They will tell us what they want to read. They will comment, and that drives our trust and our work with our audience. We know that educators are part of an 80 million colleagues around the world. And our research tells us that 85% of educators will make a large purchase, with 61% saying, admitting to us, that they will allocate money towards a long vacation. This takes that belief that educators don't have money. It's not true. We buy what we want. 97% of educators tell us they research brands, whether it's through online reviews, searches, or relationships with vendors like us. We are human. I want you to take you through a week of an educator. Last year, we did a market survey of over 5,000 teachers, and what we found in a week, on average, educators are spending over $900 a week. This is without utilities, rent, over $900. Monday, they got gas, ran to Target, spent an easy $100. Tuesday, they went on the Amazon app and ordered things, they spent $200. On Wednesday, they went out for lunch, spent $50. On Thursday, they ordered $300 worth of groceries because they were exhausted from work, and it was delivered home by the time they got there. On Friday, they left the gym, saw some shoes that they liked, and they spent $100 for them. And on Saturday and Sunday, they used those good groceries that they had ordered earlier in the week, and they bought $50 worth of workout gear. Our audience is driven by a people-first mindset. With all the updates in Google and all the things you can't reach your audience, we have long believed that we need to be able to communicate with our audience first. We should be the first point of contact. So we believe that every visit that we get is to curate an experience for our audience. So whether it's us collecting your email, we now taking you through our newsletter, which we have two for over 50,000 subscribers. We are pushing everything back to our website, back to our conversations to continue the relationship. We take those relationships and we know that we have funnels based on who our audience is. We have a funnel for new teachers. We have a funnel for retired teachers. We have a funnel for people who are thinking about teaching. We have a funnel for teachers who love pop content. We have a funnel that we push through so that we can make sure we are giving our audience what they need. Our open rate is 25% and climbing, and this just furthers our impact of if you curate your audience will stay regardless of a Google update. What we offer, we are able to work from small to big. So of course we have on-site display ads where we focus on strategically bringing awareness. Our teachers, our educators tell us what they're interested in. So it's our role to bridge the gap and to find them so that we can give them good referrals. We also do newsletter placement twice a week, every day. It doesn't matter if it's a snowstorm. It doesn't matter during COVID. We are delivering on our newsletter. They are looking forward to it. They want to know what we're talking about. Also, sponsor content over social media. I said this again, if you know a teacher in your life or the teacher you thought about, we're opinionated. We have opinions. And so through social media, we design social media campaigns and we engage through that. We also offer anchor sponsorships. So we have events. You can have your brand focused on one of our events, our newsletter, and our website. What's next for us? We are constantly bringing solutions to things that teachers tell us they want to know about. So the first thing is that we have launched our 2024-2025 annual survey. We want to know not just who our teachers are. We don't just want to know your email. We want to know, what do you buy outside of being a teacher? We want to know, what are your favorite products, your subscriptions you're buying? What are you looking for that you can't find a good vendor? What is your online behavior? What are your content patterns? What is your lifestyle trends? Right now, a lot of teachers are trying to get healthy. It's the summer. So they're out running, they're working out, they're trying to figure it out. So right now we have launched our 4th annual survey, and just last night we had 150 people complete the survey. So our goal is we keep it up for 3 or 4 months and we try to get thousands upon thousands, and this tells us the data that Google Analytics will not tell us. We also have special edition content. So every couple of months we focus, we hard kneel on things that our audience has told us is important. So of course, back to school, then we go into reading practices, and what we do, we bring experts and practitioners, and we all talk about that on that month. So there are hundreds of articles that come out, content based on those things. We also do live webinars. This is a chance for us to connect practitioners with researchers and for our audience to ask live questions. And so it might be where we want to talk about AI and the abundance of students cheating using AI, but we focus on these things and we give people an outlet so they can talk about it. We have a new podcast coming up around literacy that's launching in October 2025. This is going to be huge because we are focusing on literacy for students who have been marginalized. So Black, Brown students, and we're going to talk about what are the evidence-based practices to help bring those students so that they are reading as they need to. And last but certainly not least, we have our signature event, which is our Teacher Self-Care Conference. We have been doing this conference since before the pandemic, and we have done it after the pandemic, and we are bringing it back to Atlanta this year, and it's all around mental health. So every year, thousands of people descend upon our location. We bring researchers, we bring practitioners, and we have a fun-filled weekend. As I stand here and we think about who we are and what we do, I want to know that we are the bridge to our audience. We know them, we know what they want, we know what they need, and we are ready to work with you. Thank you. My name is Francesca Warren, and I look forward to speaking to everybody later on. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Tanisha Brown. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of Impact Magazine, where our mission is to empower, encourage, and educate our readers. 17 years ago, I embarked on a journey to impact my community, purposely through the power of words and images. Herein lies Impact Magazine, where over 100,000 women call home. Impact Magazine features activists who are passionately driving social change, celebrities using their platform to advocate for meaningful causes, and individuals from various backgrounds who are committed to making a positive impact in their communities and daily lives. Why Impact Magazine? Our readers love substance and they take action. In 2021, Impact Magazine broke the story of Izzy, a young lady who committed suicide due to bullying a month after the Justice Department reached a settlement to remedy severe racial discrimination and harassment of Black students in the Utah School District. I was asked to share the story, which caught the attention of our social media follower, Holly Robinson Pete, who shared the story, which broke for Attorney Crump, Taraji B. Henson, and many others to bring worldwide attention to this problem, which caused the governor to sign the Izzy bill. Our platform is potential meeting purpose. Deion Taylor, who was once an underestimated filmmaker, that was until he shot in the pandemic and his films grossed $100 million that year. We flew to LA to speak to him about being in this type of situation. And then we partnered with him to release the cover of the opening, the cover of the magazine at the opening of his film studio, Hidden Empire. With a commitment to amplifying marginalized voices, fostering dialogue, and championing social justice causes, Impact Magazine media landscape is not just a source of news and entertainment, but a catalyst for meaningful impact in communities worldwide through our print and digital publication, and our web series, In the Moment with Tanisha. 2018, we were the winner of the AAMBC Literacy Award. In 2023, we were featured on NBC for amassing 100K readers a month as a self-publisher. And just recently, 2024, we were officially selected for Essence Film Festival. With stunning photography and compelling design, the print edition engages readers on a tactile level, providing a curated experience that sparks conversation and reflection. Here, the team flew to LA to create the phenomenal cover with Garcelle Bouvet. It was during the pandemic to promote the Coming to America series. You remember that? Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Tanisha Brown. Take a journey with me to hear some phenomenal stories by some influential Black women.
Oh, I want to be an actor. And the reason why I want to be an actor is because of the misrepresentation of Black women.
I have done some major things, you know. I was able to make Juneteenth a state holiday here.
I watched this woman go to war for me and for an identity that I didn't know I had.
Right. Journey with me, In the Moment. Stay tuned. Impact Magazine's digital platform provides targeted opportunities to connect with individuals passionate about making a difference throughout their community, and on our web series, In the Moment with Tanisha, and this is what was selected to be screened.
What does it mean to just take that risk? Well, you know, for me, it's trust, right? So I trust that the thing that God puts inside of me. I always tell people, you think about something more than twice in a day, you're supposed to do something with it. I trust my gut. I trust that feeling. I trust those thoughts. But most of all, I trust Him. So every time I take a risk or a leap, that's me honoring Him. When we don't, that means we tell Him, you ain't did a good enough job.
Here we partnered with Domo because the Black women in Utah said they did not feel psychologically safe. So I created an event called Impact Black Women, where I brought in Tabitha Brown to let them know they are enough, which gave them confidence to go and complete job applications in their marketing and legal department for Domo. Impact Magazine's demographics encompass a diverse and socially conscious audience, all seeking inspiration and to make a positive impact in their communities and beyond. 80% are women, 65% college graduate, 76% is mobile. Our top 5 locations are New York, Houston, Atlanta, LA, Chicago, and Utah. We have a great engagement with 3 pages per session, 87% external link taps, and we have a 98% event attendance. We come out quarterly, and we do a lot of partnerships. We partner with the American Heart Association earlier this year, and the next partnership is with Benicia Watson-Poole, who is the first African Latina who is opening the FDIC bank. Our partners continually come back, from Meta to Comcast to Vivint, and also now Uncle Nearest. And why do they come back? Because we look for solutions. And through those solutions, we look for through social media marketing, branded articles, email campaigns, and live events. And here we had the V School who reached out. They were looking to give over $500,000 scholarships away. So they partnered with me, and we have 4,000 branded page views, 575 school applications, and a partnership with Meta for technology for Ms. Jody Swaby, who won the full scholarship to the V School. We host yearly events, the Men and Women of Impact Gala, Let's Mingle Networking Party, and the newly Empowered to Impact, a Career Exploratory Summit. Here's our Men of Impact Gala that we just hosted on Juneteenth, where we partnered with Vivint and Uncle Nearest. Uncle Nearest decided to partner because they wanted to open up their distribution in Utah with the Black community. And we did so well. We not only hosted the first cover bar, which was $1,000 spend, but it ended up that night selling out the entire spend of $10,000. Our partner Mingle is a digital hub for like-minded individuals to connect. Each virtual room that the software holds during the networking party that we host features expert hosts handpicked by the businesses, offering valuable insights while the guests mingle and connect with like-minded professionals. For the Empowered to Impact Summit, we are partnering with the Mountain America Bank, which they will provide scholarships to 10 graduating high school students, and also committed to a financial literacy class for them for the entire year. Listen, join me on this journey to impact, and I'm so proud to be here today. Thank you.
Johnson of Queerency.
Hello, everyone. My name is Travers Johnson. I'm the founder and CEO of Queerency. We're the leading source for LGBTQ plus business news and financial for Money Moves as well, reaching 1 million LGBTQ entrepreneurs, business leaders, and our allies each month. We're where queer folks who are accomplished and upwardly mobile come to be informed or inspired, and we're where you can come to reach our valuable LGBTQ consumer segment. But before I speak further about Queerency, I'd like to tell you a bit about myself and the journey that it took to get to starting our company. So I'm the creator of LGBTQ plus Business Week. It's happening this year, December 2nd through 8th. I can't wait to tell you more about it later. I'm also a Forbes contributor who reports at the intersection of the creator economy and the queer economy. I was the winner of the Google News Initiative Pitch Fest, as well as the Maynard Institute Entrepreneurship Award. But over a decade before all of these fancy accomplishments, I was a young newly grad who was completely terrified because I had graduated college and had just come out as gay. And I was implicitly and explicitly told that I was throwing away all of my hard work and my career opportunities because it was going to be hard enough to make it as a black person in business. So to be black and to be openly gay was going to be virtually impossible. And I almost believed that, and that's because I didn't know things like the founder of SiriusXM Radio is a trans woman, or companies like Facebook, PayPal, and OpenAI have gay co-founders, or that a trans computer engineer pioneered smartphone technology, or that a black gay millionaire named Norris B. Herndon was not only the richest black person in America during much of the 20th century, but also helped fund the civil rights movement. I had no idea that the father of computer science, Alan Turing, was a gay man, or that some of the most impactful venture capitalists in the US today, Melissa Bradley, Arlen Hamilton, are black queer women. And I really didn't know that there are more than 1.4 million LGBTQ entrepreneurs in the United States alone who contribute an estimated $1.7 trillion in domestic impact, as well as tens of thousands of jobs every year. And you know, the reason I didn't know this is because neither the mainstream business media nor LGBTQ general interest media report on queer business, money, and economic topics with consistency, dignity, or depth. And I thought, you know, if I'm someone who grew up nerding out over Black Enterprise magazine and Forbes and loves this sort of information, and I don't know this, I'm sure there are other people out there like me who don't know this either. And what does that say about the artificial glass ceilings that we may be putting on who we can be and what we can achieve in our careers and beyond that? So that's why I started Queerency. In the past, we launched in 2020, and in the past 4 years, we've grown to reach 1 million people during peak engagement periods of the year, and across our social channels, our website, and our newsletter that has a 50% open rate. We've assembled a contributor network of business journalists, content creators, subject matter experts, and event producers that are as diverse as the colors in the pride flag. And one of the things I love the most is that many of these folks were recruited directly from our audience. And so I'm going to pause there really quick and to do some myth busting about the LGBTQ audience or the LGBTQ demographic. So the first thing to know is that there is no such thing as the LGBTQ demographic. Instead, there are LGBTQ demographics. Queer people are as diverse as the colors in the rainbow because queer people exist in every community. So a white gay man here in New York City might not actually have that much in common with a black trans woman in Houston whose lived experience could be vastly different from a queer married couple in Portland. But the thing that can bring them together is having shared interests and experiences. And no one knows the struggle of entrepreneurship more than another entrepreneur. And even despite our differences, many of us can come together and, think about common money topics like wanting to pay off our student loan debt or the desire for home ownership. So one of the things that I really want to impart here is that it's not about reaching the LGBTQ demo. It's about drilling down and focusing on the right LGBTQ demo, and Queerency can help you with that. So let's talk about our audience. The Queerency community is young, diverse, engaged, and ambitious. 80% are Gen Z and millennial, 60% are people of color and women. They're hyper engaged with our content, and they're ambitious. These are business owners, these are leaders, these are creators, and they're influential. Some of the biggest names and organizations in the LGBTQ world follow and share Queerency content, from Billy Porter to B. Scott, from Lena Waithe to Ariana DeBose. But another thing that I just want to hit on again is that because our audience are business owners and professionals, they are focused not just on identity, but interest. So some of the things that we're most interested in are home ownership, wellness, tech, financial products, business services, things of that nature. We're looking and eager to build long-term relationships with your brands. And another way to say that is we're looking to find the Subaru of your sector. So I'll explain what that means. One of the long-standing stereotypes in queerness is that lesbians like two cars, U-Hauls and Subarus. The joke is that lesbians like U-Hauls because they move in together after the first date, right? And the Subaru is because of an iconic niche marketing campaign that dates all the way back to the early 90s. I did a case study about this, and you can check it out on my pinned profile on TikTok, but the Cliff's Notes version is that Subaru drilled down and focused on a niche within a niche, so lesbians, not the entire LGBTQ community. They were the first automotive company to really engage with this community with authenticity and dignity, and they played the long game. 30 years later, lesbians still love Subarus. And so since 2020, Queerency has been helping our partners become the Subarus of their sector. Here's a good example, or here's a few of them, but let me show you some case studies. So we worked with, and I'm gonna back up here so we can get hopefully the video going, but we partnered with Zillow to do a 12-month brand awareness campaign, including a branded microsite on queerency.com and social video. We also partnered with Sonara, an AI-powered job search company, on an email marketing campaign, affiliate marketing campaign, that had a 7% conversion rate. I did not know that was good until someone else told me, so I was very happy about that. We also introduced ADP, big ADP, to our community of queer small business owners, and we helped Slack. We partnered with Slack, who was the event sponsor for our LGBTQ+ Business Week virtual summit last year, which brings me to a very exciting announcement. And the first thing that I wanted to do is I brought you all some fans because I heard that it was kind of hot in New York City this week. And so I brought you some fans to kind of cool off a little bit. But I also need your help with this. So if you get your fans, as opposed to a drum roll, we're gonna do some fan claps to announce this announcement, okay? So let's go it. And since many of us are people of color, let's get a rhythm going. Clack, 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 okay. Y'all ready? So I am very excited to invite you to be the Subaru of your sector at the first annual Queerency Con. So it's happening December 6th through the 8th in Austin, Texas, where I live. And it's going to be the culmination of LGBTQ plus Business Week, which is December 2nd through the 8th. This is going to be such a great opportunity for you to get in front of our audience of business leaders and professionals right as they are preparing their holiday shopping and doing their business planning and purchasing for 2025. We have so many great opportunities for you to engage with us during that, and I'll be happy to connect with you afterward in order to figure out how we can make it work with your brand. And so as I close, I just want to reflect on how younger Travers would have thought it would be impossible to stand up and talk about this and be my authentic self the way I am now. And it makes me think that perhaps some of you and your brands may find it challenging to reach the LGBTQ consumer with authenticity. But in the same way that Queerency has helped me and other LGBTQ business owners find community and possibility, we can also help you connect with this consumer segment in a way that we can all be proud of. So thank you so much for your time. I can't wait to see you in Austin for Queerency Con.
All right, so, well, first, just to go off script for a second, I was telling this group as we went through sort of the training over the last few months and having come up to a bunch of different agencies over my career, yes, sometimes you get crunched. Maybe it was raining when everyone was on the train coming up Fifth Avenue to get here or elsewhere, and you only have 11 minutes, but it's a very, very rare position that, at least in my experience that I've been in, where I only have 10 or 11 minutes to pitch. If we needed to do it, we would, but the fact that everyone today represented their companies that they've obviously put their blood and sweat their tears into, but then had to distill that down into 11 minutes. I want to give a huge round of applause. Thank you again to everyone for joining us here today. Thank you so much to our publishers, of course, to GM, Dentsu, Triple Lift, and to BOMESI for this incredible event. I want to congratulate all the publishers. I hope you got a lot out of this experience. Obviously, a lot more to come as you continue your conversations this evening. We can't wait to see what the future holds for you. I would encourage, if there is any interest in brands, that everything today is meant to just be the tip of the iceberg. So it doesn't have to be, I have, right now I'm going into Q3, I have money just sitting around. No, we understand the realities of the situation. But as you think about 2025 conversations, planning, or even just a week where you're inviting in new up-and-coming platforms, keep these folks in mind. If there's things you want to drill down on tonight, feel free to ask questions or follow up via email. They are ready, willing, and eager to do so. I want to thank BOMESI for being at the forefront of Black-owned and diverse-owned media with not only this accelerator as well, but with the programs that we'll continue to build and hopefully we'll continue to support. I want to, at this point, pass it off to Alicia and Devon to say a few final words.
Wow, what a day. What an incredible afternoon of sessions and hearing about the capabilities. I actually was telling Devon in the back, it's funny, we know these companies very intimately because we've seen them from the application stage throughout the program. But I even learned new stuff hearing them present today.
I was blown away, guys. It was amazing. So,
yeah. So
really
I want to
job.
take a moment actually to have Cohort 3 stand and just face the room, and let's just give them some love.
Woo!
Congratulations. And if you will have a seat, I also would like for our cohort alum who are in the room, just a few of them, to stand as well. And I want to acknowledge them because they are here as a supporter and part of the community and part of the ecosystem.
Don't try to hide from us. We see you back
they
there.
They also
you have to stand
leaned in to mentor the new cohorts. That's Kevin from Parlay Magazine, Erica from Map Happy. So our goal with the Accelerator program, Devon and I are publishers ourselves. And so we built what we wish existed access to resources, relationships that can lead to revenue as a media owner. There's a ton of programs for startups, for entrepreneurs that focus on the tech or focus on the business only, but there's a unique intersection of needs when it comes to media owners, and we built that, and as you can see, it's working. I also would like to take a moment for all of the mentors that helped the cohort get ready for today. If you can stand, I want to acknowledge you as well.
We see you guys too. Yeah, we see you also.
So join us. It's more than just coming on as a funder, although we love funding. We're still at the beginning. This is just cohort 3. We want to have cohort 4, 5, 6, and grow it from 7 to 10 to 20. And so talk to us about ways that you can lean in. You know, of course, sponsorship is great, but we also always need mentorship, office hours. There's so many ways to tap in.
We also just want to thank, Dentsu for leaning in, giving us a space. Having these publishers and an advertising agency is a huge, huge, huge statement to make. So thank you guys for doing that. Looking forward to cohort 4, 5, 6, 7, and all of your brands to come in and support that also. Again, GM has been amazing, but I know Dentsu has a long list of clients that definitely want to get involved in this work. So looking forward to that.
Okay, we're standing between you and happy hour, but I do want to make sure that on the record, I acknowledge all of the partners and sponsors. So thank you to Triple Lift for leaning into the programming, bringing together a network of amazing mentors, workshop leaders, and facilitators. Thank you to Collab, our implementation partner for this accelerator. Collab is an innovation consultancy working with some of the largest corporations in the world to help them run world-class accelerators, including BOMESI Accelerator. So thank you. Vic is from their team. She's right here. And of course, I have to give a huge round of applause to the lead mentor for Cohort 3, Brandon DeLesline. Thank you. Thank you to General Motors, Dentsu, Triple Lift, everyone who supported this program. So now at this time.
One more thank you to all the tech guys running around here getting content. Can't forget that. Thank you guys so much.
That's a good call.
I thought we were going to have one camera person. It's a whole team. So thank you guys.
Yeah.
They're
and it's a
everywhere.
Black-owned production company as well. So listen, our goal, like I said, is always to grow the pie. This really started from a text message, me and Zavon, and we were like, it can't just be us. And the state of media, everybody's sort of in a tough spot right now, but we have each other and we lean into each other, and that's our strength. So we want to continue to grow the pie, so let's have more conversations and mingle after. And if you have any questions for the publishers, because we didn't have a Q&A.
I know, and everyone stayed in their seats the whole time, so I guess you definitely want happy hour. So thank you guys for being here. Let's go have happy hour and close some deals.
Cheers.
Thank you.